Shalom, shalom, most high in Christ, blessed. This is Israel United in Christ, and this is 15 Minutes with the Captain, and I'm your host, Captain Zakai, and I'm with my reader,
Officer Isaiah.
All praise to the Most High. So the name of this class is called Our Strength Be the Law. Our Strength Be the Law. So generally, when we talk about the law, people think we talk about the laws of God, and our strength be the laws of God. That's true, but that's not what this class is about. This class is about the strength of the law to the so-called white man, Esau, and the nations, how they use the law for their advantage. All right, our strength be the law. But first, we're going to start in Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 15 and show you how our people now come under this oppressive law. All right, come on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 15.
Come on.
But Jeshurun waxed fat.
But Jeshurun waxed fat. Jeshurun there is the nation of Israel. All right. When it says waxed fat, meaning that what? Israel was doing real good. Read on.
And kicked.
And kicked. Come on.
Thou art waxen fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness.
Right. Because you got to remember, in this chapter, the Most High starts going over with Israel. Hey, guess what? Y'all were in captivity in Egypt. I took y'all out of there. But then after you started doing good, you start acting up. You know what I mean? You getting fat. You doing very well. So now what? Now you kick, meaning that you kick the laws to the side. You doing your own thing. Read on.
Then he forsook God, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation.
That the Israelites lightly esteemed the rock of their salvation. And the rock of their salvation is Christ. Yes, I got news for y'all. The cat is out the bag. Christ was mentioned in the Old Testament many, many times. All right, so that's what that's talking about. All right, come on.
They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoke they him to anger.
Come on.
They sacrifice unto devils, not to God. To gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not.
Right, to some brand new gods. They just came out of Egypt, worshiping all type of madness. They're supposed to worship the Lord, and then what? When everything was good, they went right back to their madness. All right? So guess what? The Lord, in reading this, you understand that in Deuteronomy chapter 28, the Lord had warned them, if y'all start to get fat and kick, guess what? You're going to go into captivity and all kind of madness going to start going on. All right? So let's move on. Give me Romans chapter 13 and verse 1. All right? Our strength be the law. That is the name of the class, and we about to really start tapping into it right now.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 1.
Come on.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. All right? The higher powers of what? Of the government, of laws of the land. All right? We have to be subject unto those laws. Come on.
For there is no power but of God.
There is no power but of God. Come on.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
Y'all heard that? The powers that be are ordained of God. Come on.
Whosoever therefore resist.
I'm sorry. Read that first verse again. We're going to stay right there.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Come on.
For there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God.
Right. So when you do what? The powers that be are ordained of God, meaning God has set up that structure. These laws that we see in the land right now are set up by God, right? But guess what? Not only are they set up by God, but the people who God set up, that's what we're looking for. Daniel chapter 4:17. Watch this. All right? Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. Let me get there with you, bro. Let me get there with you. When you get it, read it.
The book of Daniel, chapter 4 and verse 17.
Come on.
This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones.
Right. Come on.
To the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
That the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. Guess what? The Most High, out of all of these kingdoms you see, and you see the president of this, the king of that, the prime minister of this, that's the Most High setting all that up. Read on.
And giveth it to whomsoever he will.
Read that again.
And giveth it to whomsoever he will.
He giveth the rulership of those kingdoms to whomever he wants to. That's what it's saying. So the Lord set up Donald Trump a few years back. The Lord set up Biden this time around. The Lord set up Putin, all right, and all of those prime ministers and that guy in the Ukraine, Zelensky, all right. The Lord set all that up. Read on.
and setteth up over it the basis of men.
And all of those men that I just named are the worst that the world has to offer. That's what you got to understand. That's what it says. And he set up over it the basis of men, the worst sort of men. Yes, you heard it. The Lord is putting up wicked men into position. All right? Yeah, you chew on that while we keep going. Give me 2nd Ezra chapter 11. All right? Because we're going to straighten it out for y'all. We're going to straighten it out for y'all because guess what? The Lord got something going on. And you got to get with the program. This is the Lord's program. This is a script, a movie being played out. All right? And you're part of it. Which one you going to be? You going to be a good guy? You going to be the bad guy? All right? Come on. Oh, I want 2nd Ezra chapter 11. I'm sorry. And let's start in verse 37.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 11 and verse 37.
Come on.
And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion.
As it were a roaring lion. Come on.
Chased out of the wood.
Come on. And that's the roaring lion of Judah. That's Christ. Come on.
And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle and said.
Right. And that eagle is talking about what? The so-called white man, Esau. That's what it's talking about. So the lion is now chasing the eagle out of the woods. And he's talking to him. Read on.
And said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee.
Come on.
Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts?
Art not you, America, that remainest of the fourth beast? The four beasts, that's talking about what? All those kingdoms that came before. And America's being the extension of Rome. Come on.
Whom I made to reign in my world.
So the Lord is saying, I made you, Esau, to reign in my world. Come on.
That the end of their times might come through them.
That the end of the time of Esau might come through their own hand. They're going to do it to themselves. All right? They're going to put themselves to death. That's what the scripture's saying. Read on.
And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past.
Come on.
And had power over the world with great fearfulness. And over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression.
With much wicked oppression. When you look around, that's the United States of America. Much wicked oppression, not only to the Israelites in slavery, mainly us, but all the other nations that they go and oppress and steal their resources and rape their women and murder the people. All right, come on.
And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
With what?
Deceit.
With deceit, because he said what? God bless America, right? That he was the land of opportunity and the greatest nation on earth. It was all what? Hollywood. All right? Deceit. All right? So come on, give me the book of 1 Maccabees chapter 8. All right? We're going to start in verse 11. All right? And what we're going to do with 1 Maccabees is show you how America set up their government. All right? It's already written here in the Bible, and this is what we're trying to show y'all. All right? The strength in the law and how it came to be. All right? We're going to start at verse 11.
1 Maccabees chapter 8 and verse 11.
Come on.
It was told him besides how they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms and isles that at any time resisted them.
Right. So this was talking about the Greeks at that time, right? So remember, the Greeks, then they were taken over by the Romans. You had the Greco-Roman Empire, and then you had the Roman Empire. All right. So this is what it's leading into. And it's telling you that what in verse 11, that under their dominion, all other kingdoms and any islands that resisted them, they crushed them. All right. They put them to death and took over their land. All right. Read on.
But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amity.
Right. And the United States uses the same exact playbook. All right. If you don't agree with them, they start sending bombs. They start sending missiles. They start sending disease. They start sending everything over there to destroy you. All right. And the ones who do agree, guess what? Now you're down with the allies. You in the UN. All right. And they're going to protect you to a degree. Right. Read on.
And that they had conquered kingdoms, both far and nigh.
That's right.
Insomuch as all that heard of their name were afraid of them.
That's right. When the United States says, hey, listen, you don't want us to come knocking on your door. You damn right you don't want them coming knocking on your door. That's Satan right there. And when they show up, they're going to pull all manner of wickedness to stop you. Read on.
Also, that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reign. And whom again they would, they displaced.
You see that? They displaced. Because what? They would come in, set up a leader. Once that leader finds out, hey, guess what? America's full of garbage. You know what I mean? They the devil that the Bible speaks of. They start rebelling. Then guess what? The United States goes in, plans a coup, get them out the way and put somebody else in. Either kills that man or give him some money and send him to another country. But they get him up out of there. Read on.
Finally, that they were greatly exalted.
Right. Come on.
Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown,
Right.
or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby.
Right, because amongst the Greeks, they weren't saying, oh, this is king such and such. This is prince this and that. This is queen. No, they didn't do that, but they did do something. Read on.
Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house.
What did they make for themselves?
A senate house.
A senate house. This is what the Greeks did. They made a Senate house. This sounds familiar to you because America has a Senate house with the Congress and everything where they what? Pass bills, bring our legislation to up to the eyes and ears of all the senators, and they make decisions on it and all of that. Read on.
Wherein 320 men sat in council daily.
Right, come on.
Consulting always for the people.
Right.
To the end they might be well ordered.
Right. So guess what? Say America does that same thing, right? Orders the place. Okay, listen, you're over Washington, D.C., you're over New York, you're over California, you're over Illinois, you're over Michigan. You understand, with those senators and all of that. The same exact thing, right? To order the people and order the nation. Read on.
And that they committed their government to one man every year.
You heard that? They committed their government, that whole government now, that we heard about the whole Senate House, but every year they would commit their government to one man every year, all right? What does that sound like? That's the president, all right? So they had a president back then, but instead of him being every 4, they made it every single year. Read on.
Who ruled over all their country. And all that were obedient to that one.
Right.
And that there was neither envy nor emulation amongst them.
Right. So now you see how the setup started to work for what? The political landscape of the United States was built strictly. They're taking everything from Rome. All right? The Greeks and the Romans. All right? So now give me the book of Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 5. We're going to start there. All right? Y'all listen close. All right? We're going to show you how they use the laws and everything, how they set up the laws and how they use it as their strength. Okay? Because they're not moving with the Most High in Christ, right? That's not them. They're on the left-hand side. So they're using it differently, right? So come on.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 32 and verse 5.
Come on.
The vile person shall be no more called liberal.
You heard that? The vile person shall no longer be called liberal. Read on.
Nor the churl said to be bountiful.
Right. Because when you look at liberalism today, that's democracy, right? They'll say, the Democrats, right? And they're liberals because they dealing with what? Equality of the people, liberation, black rights, Hispanic rights, homosexual rights, rights for dogs, abortion rights, everything they have clumped up is all good. The liberals, everything is all good, right? But then in the bottom of that, it talks about what? Nor the churl said to be bountiful, right? You have the other side, which is called the right wing, which is your Republicans, right? And what? They said what? The Republicans are bountiful. Every time the Republicans are in office, guess what? There's money, all right? The Donald Trumps and your Bushes and your Reagans, all right? There's always some money involved. All right, give me read the next verse. Come on.
For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity.
Right, and also I wanted to bring this out in verse 5 when it says the vile person shall no longer be called liberal, meaning that liberal person who calls himself liberal is a damn liar, is a demon. All right, and they're actually a vile individual. So then when you jump down to 6, it says for the vile person, meaning that liberal will speak villainy, will speak much wickedness. Read on.
And his heart will work iniquity.
Sins, come on.
To practice hypocrisies.
Right. When they tell you, hey, listen, we're going to create more sports teams for your kids and more learning centers and this and that. And it never happens. It never happens. What winds up happening is they take your music program out of the school. They take your sports program. They take this. They take that. And all you're left with is a bunch of kids running around the street getting into trouble. All right? And they don't teach them a damn thing in school. Read on.
And to utter error against the Lord.
Come on.
To make empty the soul of the hungry. And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail.
Right, meaning that the poor are going to just continue to get poor. They're going to keep the poor in that state. All right, come on. I'm sorry. Well, let's leave that alone. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. All right, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, because we're talking about what? The vile. So we're going to get you some information on the vile and how they dealing with what? This political landscape. We talking about the vile and what? The wicked. They are the politicians, all right, in this setup. Come on. 2 and 1.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright.
Right. So the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, thinking, but not rightly. Come on.
Our life is short and tedious,
Mm-hmm.
and in the death of a man there is no remedy.
Come on.
Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
That's why they wasn't thinking of right, because there is a man that returned from the grave. All right. And there's going to be many more of us that's going to return from the grave. Come on.
For we are born at all adventure.
Come on.
And we shall be hereafter as though we had never been.
That's right. Come on.
For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our hearts.
So they're like, yeah, listen, we don't have that much time. We got a little spark in our heart, like the Transformers, the all spark, right? Come on, read on.
Which being extinguished, our bodies shall be returned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air.
Come on.
And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance.
Come on.
And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof.
So basically what they're saying here is, guess what? We don't have much time on the earth. Nobody going to remember our ways, so we're going to do what we want. We're going to take and we're going to live. Read on.
For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning. For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again.
Read on.
Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present.
Come on.
And let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth.
Right, let us use those good things right now in the present. So when they getting them tax monies that y'all paying and all the monies they get, they having a great time. They having a great time living. You understand? And that's why it says that they keep the poor, like the what it said in Isaiah about the thirsty, the needy of the.
They cause the thirsty.
Right, they cause the thirsty to fail. All praises, officer. They cause the thirsty to fail. I said that wrong. They cause the need of the thirsty to fail. Right? Why? Because think about it. When you got a lot of money, let's say you a billionaire. What fun is it if everybody's a billionaire? Somebody got to pick up your bags. Somebody got to cook your food. You know what I mean? You got to feel like you really a billionaire. You got to pay little tips. You got to feel, important. So that's what that's all about. Come on, read on.
Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments.
That's right.
And let no flower of the spring pass by us.
Come on.
Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness.
Right, about the voluptuousness. Remember when we read in Deuteronomy, it talked about Jeshurun waxed fat, right, and got thick. This is the same thing, but on the other side, right? The voluptuousness, like the voluptuousness of a woman, all right? And that's no offense to the sisters, but guess what? That voluptuousness of a woman is what the thickness, the healthiness, all right? Read on.
Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this.
They saying this is ours. This people, this land, the money that's coming in, this is all us. All right? This is the people that's dealing in your political scene. And we're going to show it to you. Read on.
Let us oppress the poor righteous man.
Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Because they don't want you to share in this wealth. They want to take everything for themselves, especially you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. They're not playing with you. You're not going to eat the way they eat. Read on.
Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age.
Come on, let's get back to 2nd Ezra chapter 11. All right? Hold on. Yeah, man. All right, when we get there, start at verse 40.
2nd Ezra chapter 11 and verse 40.
Come on.
And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression.
That's right.
And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
Come on.
For the earth hast thou not judged with truth.
For the earth has thou not judged with truth. All right? Because the so-called white man runs around. When they want to put somebody in prison from another country, they go, you had 9/11. They went to Saddam Hussein. What the hell he got to do with that? All of a sudden, they put that man to death. You understand what I'm saying? They start putting everybody to death when he ain't got nothing to do with nothing. right? Because they do not judge aright. They don't judge truthfully. Come on.
For thou hast afflicted the meek.
Thou hast afflicted the meek. Come on.
Thou hast hurt the peaceable. Thou hast loved liars.
They have loved liars. Whoever lies on the planet Earth, this is who America want to get with. All right? A man can become a woman. Because he thinks it in his mind, that means he's a woman. And America's like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, we're going to make that a law. That's real. This is the madness that's going on, amongst other things. Come on.
And destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and has cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm.
As did thee no harm. All right, let's go back to Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 7.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 32 and verse 7.
Come on.
The instruments also of the churl are evil.
The instruments also of the churl are evil, right? So the churl, that just means the rude, the wicked. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who ain't right, right? But what are the instruments of the churl? The instruments of the churl are what? You got your welfare system, right? Where what they do is they tell you that, guess what? Hey, ma'am, listen, I know your family needs money, but you say you're married. We can't give you any money if you're married. So she comes back and says what? And they tell her, well, listen, if you're not with your husband, though, we can take care of it, right? So now the husband has to sneak out. He's not in the home anymore. Now you got the woman, the kids, just get welfare money, all right? And now that breaks up the family. After a while, he can't come back because that's the way the money goes. You got, what, Section 8? You got to not be making a certain amount of money for them to help you out. It's just a bunch of madness, a bunch of what? Deceit, all right? And tricks to make you what? Break your family and remain poor. Come on.
He deviseth wicked devices.
There you go.
To destroy the poor with lying words.
That's what we just explained. Okay? This man got all kind of devices and tricks to keep your family and the poor of our people destroyed. That's his plan. Read on.
Even when the needy speaketh right.
Damn, even when the needy speaketh right. So you got brothers and sisters who might come up and say, hey, guess what? We need this in the community. We need that. We need jobs, whatever. Oh, yes. We're going to get that for you immediately. And they never do a damn thing. And they don't do a damn thing. All right? Read on, bro.
But the liberal deviseth liberal things. And by liberal things shall he stand.
That's right. Go back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10. We're going right back. Right back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. I'm sorry. All right, y'all. Hang with us. All right, go ahead when you get it. 10.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow.
Come on.
Nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age.
Come on.
Let our strength be the law of justice.
Let our strength be the law of justice. Why are they saying that? Because guess what? You have three branches, right? So-called. You got the legislative branch, I believe, where they bring up, I think they're the ones that draft and propose laws. Then you have the judicial. They are the ones who do what? They interpret the law saying, oh, it means X, it means Y, it means Z. Then you have the executive branch that actually executes what? The judgments and so on and so forth, right? But their strength is what? When they're able to make moves, there's no voting involved. Y'all not voting on these things. They just pushing them in, all right? So now when they got the transgender sitting up in the library reading to the kids, you have nothing to do with that because they said, no, this is what it's going to be, and you can't do nothing about it. If you say something, that's a hate crime. That's in the books. You had nothing to do with that. When homosexuals get married to each other, you didn't vote for that. They put that into the laws, all right? Whatever they want to put in the law, that's what they do. They change it at will. Same thing with when our people, when we came out of slavery, they said, oh, you out of slavery? Okay, we're going to make black codes, all right? If they catch you and you don't have a job that they recognize as a real job, guess what? They basically put you in prison and you work for free. That's how the whole prison industrial complex got started, all right? They got many, many trains of thought of this wickedness. You can't make it up. Read on.
Let our strength be the law of justice.
Come on.
For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
Because our people are looked at as feeble and we don't have any worth. So then what? We're going to eat off of them. The little jobs we give them, they're going to always have to come to us and spend their money. We're the number one consumers on planet Earth, especially in America. You so-called blacks and Hispanics, you make up all the spending that goes on in America. And they eat all your food, and none of it comes back to your community. Read on.
Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous.
Damn.
Because he is not for our turn.
He is not for our turn, the righteous, us who keep these commandments. We not for the ways of Esau. We're not about going against the commandments of God. Come on, read on.
And he is clean contrary to our doings.
Right, because what? We clean due to what? The fact of keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what keeps us clean. That's the baptism. Read on.
He upbraideth us with our offending the law.
Exactly. We're going to upbraid them when they offend the law, right? When they saying that, oh, a man can become a woman. We're going to say that's wrong. Dwayne Wade, when he's doing that with his son, we're going to say, Dwayne, you out of order, my brother. That's madness. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to say, oh, he upbraideth us when we offend the laws of God. Read on.
And objective to our infamy, the transgressing of our education.
You're damn right. We ain't with it. All right. So now let's get back to Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 8. Read that again for me.
The book of Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 8.
Come on.
But the liberal deviseth liberal things.
But the liberal will devise liberal things, meaning vile things, villainy. He's always going to come up with a new trick to keep you voting. Oh, vote for Biden. Trump is not right. And listen, y'all dealing with two wicked wings of the same bird. Y'all have yet to understand this. This ain't no damn one party against another. This is a Hollywood show going on. All right, read on.
And by liberal things shall he stand.
That's it. Go back. Wisdom of Solomon. All right. Yeah, y'all got to understand the strength. That's how they rule. That's how they keep us in derision and keep us crazy in sin. All right. They just keep pushing stuff into that law and they stand strong in it. Come on. Start in verse 13. Yes, sir.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 13. He professeth to have the knowledge of God.
That's right. We do profess to have the knowledge of God because we do. Read.
And he calleth himself the child of the Lord.
That's right. And that's what they saying. Oh, they call themselves the child of the Lord. This is what the wicked are saying today in these days and times. Read on.
He was made to reprove our thoughts.
Yes. Yes, the Israelites were made to reprove the thoughts of the wicked. All right? When all of these wickedness is going on, we're going to be the ones to say, that's out of order. That is out of order. That's us. Read.
He is grievous unto us even to behold.
Damn. That's when you walk into the spot and they're like, oh, my God, there goes the neighborhood. Why are these guys here? Oh, my God, please get them out of here. I mean, is there any way? We got a country club. We don't want to have any blacks in here. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to have any Hispanics in here unless they're cleaning something. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's told. They don't even want to look at your ass. Read.
For his life is not like other men's.
That's right.
His ways are of another fashion.
His ways are another fashion. What fashion is that? That's the fashion of the Lord. That's what our ways are. Read on.
We are esteemed of him as counterfeits.
You damn right. We esteem them as counterfeits. That's why you had the white man Jesus. That's a counterfeit. That's not reality, right? You had the so-called Jewish people. They are not the real Jews. They are the counterfeits. All right? They're offended by this, but it's real. Just come to the conclusion of reality. You understand what I'm saying? So we look at y'all as counterfeits. Yes, indeed. Read on.
He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness.
Damn. He abstaineth from our ways as of filthiness. When you look in Revelation, that's what it says about Babylon the Great, that they're filthy. You understand? And that's Esau, filthiness. All the sinning and all the matters that they do. That's that filthiness they're talking about. Read on.
He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed.
That's right, because we're waiting for Christ's return. That's the end for the just in Christ. You understand? The blessings of Christ. Read on.
And maketh his boast that God is his Father.
Because God is our Father. We know that. We are the children of the Most High God. All right? So let's go back to Romans, man. 13. All right? We're going to start in, matter of fact, just start in verse 1 again. We're going to get the thought back because that's where we started.
Romans chapter 13 and verse 1.
Come on.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Mm-hmm.
For there is no power but of God.
That's right.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
That's right. So for all what we just told you, all of those wicked politicians, all of them wicked presidents and everything else, they're all, and the wicked police and all of that, they're all set up by God. Yes. They're all set up by God. Read on.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God.
You may say, how is it that we're resisting the ordinance of God? Well, guess what? When God said, thou shalt not steal, you said, I'm going to steal. The Lord said, oh, you want to steal? No problem. Now I'm going to put this police officer in your neighborhood. He's saying, thou shalt not steal. And when you steal, guess what? You're going to jail. Because that's all you understand. That's all you Israelites understand. You need to be checked and spanked and beat. So the Lord put the white man over us to do what? To check our spirit. that we may look at that and say, I don't want to have nothing to do with that man's system. Let me just stay on the right track. That's what it is. Start from the top again, bro, on verse 2.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God.
Resisteth the laws of God. That's what it's talking about. Read on.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Death. Okay? Or some kind of jail sentence or something when you go against the laws of God. Read on.
For rulers are not a terror to good works.
For rulers are not a terror to good works. Those rulers, right? Remember in Daniel chapter 4, the Lord said, I will give to whomever to rule, right? Those rulers are not going to be a terror to you when you keeping the commandments for the most part. All right? Read on.
For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil.
When you go against the commandments, you evil, that's when they're going to be a terror unto you. Read on.
Will thou then not be afraid of the power?
Will then thou not be afraid of God? That's what it's saying. Read on.
Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
Come on.
For he is the minister of God to thee for good.
Who's the he? The he is the higher powers. The higher powers is the so-called white man, the Edomites. He is the minister of God to you for good. You might be saying, wait a minute, I'm confused. I thought you said he was the devil that the Bible speaks of. Yeah, he is. But guess what? That term minister, that means like the head of a department. Now we're talking about what? The department of the laws of the land. He is the minister of that of God to you for what?
For good.
For good. Why does it say that? So that when you look, you may say, you know what? Let me just keep these commandments and live. Let me stay out of the ways of these courtrooms. Let me not get caught up on a murder beef or robbery or any of that madness. All right? Come on.
But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid.
Be afraid of God. That's what he's saying, right? So what? God is going to use these people to do what? Read on.
For he beareth not the sword in vain.
Right. The cop on the street don't have that gun by his side for no reason. So when you start acting up, he's ready to plug you. You say, oh, my God, it's racism. Look what they do to white people. They don't shoot them as fast. They shoot. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's how God got it set up, so that you Israelites will get in check. Read on.
For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
You heard that? He is the revenger to execute wrath. Where's that wrath coming from? God. Because you didn't want to listen. You waxed fat and kicked. The Lord said, all right, well, I'm going to start kicking. So with that, we're going to end the class, all right? And this is what it is. Y'all better keep the laws in Christ, all right? So with that, we're going to say shalom. My name is Captain Zakai. This was 15 minutes with the captain. Shalom, Most High Christ bless you. Come on home.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is